Good morning. It's day 18 here in the studio in Northeast Ohio. I'm Amy from the Ross Farm, and I'm super excited to open our 3 advent calendars today. But first, let's do our recap from yesterday. So we had the cheeses for Mises, fiber and yarn, and they are both this lovely creamy Gouda color. I'm just imagining that it's Gouda fiber. And they are made from Blueface Leicester, milk fiber, and airy silk, which I I can't get over how soft this is, and I'm guessing it's from the milk fiber because Blueface Leicester is soft, but this is really soft. I don't know that I'm actually going to dye the yarn. That's what they said we could do with it, but I kind of like it the way it is, and it has so much luster to it, and I'm sure that is from the silk and the milk fiber as well. But I wanted to talk real quickly about the Blueface Leicester because most people are a little bit confused about the 3 main Leicesters, the Leicester Longwool, the Blueface Leicester, and the Border Leicester. This is actually made from Blueface Leicester, and it is considered to be the softest of all of the Longwools, although I would argue that Masham from the UK might actually be softer. They have beautiful ringlets and a Roman nose like my Cheviot sheep, so I like them already. They have the upright ears and the Roman nose, but they have lovely long ringlets. And their skin is actually dark blue under the white hair on their face and neck and legs and tummy, which doesn't have wool on it, it just has hair. And so they give the appearance of being a blue-faced Leicester. That's how they got their name. They are a rather large sheep. The males are upwards of 200 pounds, and the females are in the 175 range. So a very large scale sheep compared to my Leicester Longwools and some of the other Longwools. But because they have no wool on their legs or stomach or neck or head, they only have about a 3 to 5 pound fleece. So if you're going to be working with your first Longwool fleece, I highly recommend the Blueface Leicester because it's a manageable size and they don't really have any wool in the areas that would need to be skirted out, like their little rumps or their little tummies or their legs. It's already gone. So a good first fleece to start with, especially since it's so soft and it's got a long staple length being a Longwool. So I just wanted to cover the Blueface Leicester just for a moment. Now, the other gift we got yesterday was from the Jenny's Countdown to Christmas box, and it was the package of stickers and the easy button. And I went online and listened to what it actually does, and it's just not for me. So I didn't bother to put the batteries in it because this is something that I'm probably going to give away. It's basically Jenny's voice reciting her quotes like finished is better than perfect. And I don't see that this is something I'm ever going to use. I might use it to annoy my partner or the dog. But other than that, it's just really not for me. So that one's going to find another home. But the Cheeses for Mises was a total hit. So, ready to open day number 18. I'm so excited. I don't know what it's going to be. Let's see. Got our big book of facts here. Day 18. Oh, I love this already. Day 18 is the shoemaker, but here's the thing. The fiber, 50% Faroe Island. I'm obsessed with the Faroe Island sheep. I just taught a class at SOAR in the fall, and we did all island breeds, and Faroe Island was one of them. 25% South American. Gonna have to look into that more. 25% bio nylon. Okay. The Elves and the Shoemaker is a tale that has spanned generations, and though they were first published by the Brothers Grimm in the early 1800s, the original story dates back to the 1700s and possibly even earlier. If you're not familiar with the story, it follows a shoemaker who only had enough leather to make one set of shoes. After retiring to bed, he found the shoes fully made the next morning and a customer willing to pay more than usual. This pattern continues with shoes being mysteriously made and customers eagerly snapping them up. He and his wife realize it is little elves making the shoes and in turn make them clothes. Yes, they were naked. In thanks. Now fully clothed, the elves leave the shop and no longer help. But interestingly, the shoe business carried on doing well. For this blend, we decided to use a strong Faroe Island fiber in its natural black shade to represent the shoes. We then added bio nylon in scone as a creamy contrasting shade and to also give the blend more durability. Finally, added Mars from our space dyed range. This color changes as the fiber is drafted during combing, so it adds a nice amount of variation and variegation. With shoes in mind, this would make a cracking sock yarn. Do you think that the yarn in here is going to be a sock yarn? Nope, because they're all DK. All right, let's see what it looks like. Oh, this is exciting. Faroese. Faroe Island sheep in black are my favorite. Oh, this is lovely. This is so lovely. The thing about the island sheep is they are far softer than you think they're going to be. They are very rugged, very primitive little sheep, but the fiber is delightful. If you haven't spun island sheep, you need to try it. I mean, Shetland is one of the island sheep, but the Borare, the Holmies, the Soe, the Faroe Island, they all just magical. I love them so much. But this is gorgeous. Can't imagine what the yarn's gonna be. I'm so excited. Okay, put it down. You have to read first. All right. It is also 50% Faroe Island, 25% South American, 25% bio nylon. This darker toned yarn is highly durable with good stitch definition. It's designed to be perfect for socks and garments that might get more than their fair share of wear. Use this alongside a yarn like Tomte Day 16 for complementary color work. Let's see what it looks like. Now we'll find Tomte. Okay. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, this is lovely as well. It's a little bit mangled in its little tube, but it is absolutely lovely. It is a little more rustic. It's not quite as soft as the fiber was, but it's also spun quite tightly to make it a good sock yarn. So that is gorgeous. Let me see if I can get my hands on Tomte real quick. I think I can. Yes, I can. Oh, that wouldn't have been something I would have immediately chosen, but I think those two together are actually pretty interesting. That is Tomte, right? Yeah, it is. Okay. That would not have been my first suggestion. I think it would have been really good with the Cheeses for Mises from yesterday for a lot of contrast. I'm going to look at that. Just humor me. That together would be really pretty good. Lots of contrast there. Okay, so that is our Day 18 yarn and fiber. Let's see what Jenny has for us. Uh-oh. I bet this is a charm pack. I hope it's a good project. I hope it's a project I really, really like. Oh, please let it be a really good project. Always check the bag just to make sure that there's nothing in there. Ooh, this is very pretty. It is a charm pack, a 5-inch sticker. 5-inch stacker pillow pack called Bellissimo from My Mind's Eye by Riley Blake. and it has all of the different fabrics on the back, which I love, because then you know what the ones inside look like without having to open it. So that's a charm pack. You know what this means. We're probably going to get a project in tomorrow's package that we make with this, just like we did with the pouch a few days ago. Really haven't been a lot of projects this year. It's been mostly gifts. Not sure how I feel about that quite yet. We'll talk about that when we have our wrap up on Christmas. But that is today's presents, which brings me to my favorite segment, our featured product of the day. And this is something that's actually in the clearance section of our website, which if you haven't been to the clearance section, there's some really great stuff there and some really excellent gifts. But I wanted to talk about the Bespeckle hat, which is a kit on our website. It comes in 2 different colorways, red or gray, with the Century Farm signature colorway for the pom-pom and all of the pops of color around it. So that is up on our website at therossfarm.com, and in the clearance section, marked down really, really well. There's also some jewel closures and some wrist rollers in there as well, because I'm just not going to be taking those with me on the road anymore. I'm full of yarn, so there's no room for that sort of stuff. Anyways, so I hope wherever you are that you're having a lovely day and enjoying a nice hot beverage and the magic of the season. And until tomorrow, we'll see you soon.